Good morning. So we started with spaceships, and I've had some pretty bad slots at conferences, but I felt so sorry for my HPCC colleague to have to follow that. So we went from spaceships and then a spaceport. Then we talked to space finance. That was a very good comeback. And perhaps at the end of today's session, we'll be talking about space hotels. Who sees? Who knows? So Asia looking out. I think it's actually quite special. When I looked at the delegates list today, what we see is a convergence of media. This is the Festival of Media, and I want to congratulate the organizing team on bringing together such a great group of speakers. I won't include myself there, but the speakers that you've got, and delegates, because what we see, and when you look at the backgrounds and the current experience and the challenges of the people here, they really do converge where media and marketing in this social media age seem to be coming together. And this next session is really about marketing. In fact, it's about global marketing. Because if you think about it, I would argue that every marketing manager, director, CMO today working in Asia either works for or competes against a global brand. And if you just take a step back, just 10 years ago, things were very different. In fact, we talk a lot with CMOs of big companies. Did you know it was only 10 years ago that Unilever appointed its first dedicated person globally to run the Dove brand? And it was the first global brand within Unilever's stable of brands to become centrally led. Now, you might think they were late. Well, actually, it turns out, these people sit in our advisory board, that P&G, almost in the same month, it was actually 3 months earlier, had appointed its first global brand franchise leader, as they call it. So actually what we're seeing is a lot of brands are reflecting now the reality outside, which is about it's going global. So what does it take to win? Well, my clicker's not working. Next. Right. We decided to study that, and I wanted to give us a little bit of a framework as we go into the conversations with these excellent global brand leaders that will be coming on the stage in a minute. We asked ourselves, what does it take to win? And there isn't a lot about this. We created a leading global brand study, 250 global brands, and in fact almost 25,000 people now that participated, and not enough time to discuss the findings, except one framework that I'd like you to keep in the back of your mind as you listen to these speakers. The first is that when you look at global brands as they go global, every time again you hear that there's a laser-like focus on what are we about, what is our DNA. And when you look at effective global brands, they all share three things. They are universal in the need that they appeal to, which makes sense as you go global. They're purposeful, in other words, they're more than just about making money. Very important theme. And they think total experience for their clients. And I think when you start talking about hospitality, you couldn't be in a better place to learn about that. And what we see is that this is the common characteristics of great global brands. But as they go global, it takes something more to do that well. Because this is what could be a great brand in one place. But to take it global, you need something else. You need to think about how you get the organization to pick up and run it, and not just copy-paste it, but interpret it in a consistent manner. The how is about connecting key players around the organizations. It's about making it personal for marketers, for media people, for the people in the lobby that receive your guests as they come in, that they are inspired to bring that brand alive in a way that makes sense, there and in that country. It's about creating clarity on the focus. What are the three things we're trying to do globally? And in your country, what does that mean? How do those correlate? And then when the focus is there, ruthless focus on roles and responsibility. Who does what? What is your freedom to operate? What can you change? What can you make locally relevant? And what can you absolutely not touch? Because that's our DNA, it's what we're about, and please don't play with it. And finally, if you're setting up a great global marketing organization, how do you build the skills, the confidence, and the tools and the case studies for your marketing and media people around the world, that when you get it right in one place, you can roll it out. Now, when you talk about local, global, I don't think that there's a category that could be more the acid test for whether you're getting it right or not than hospitality. Because if you think about it, if you travel to Bangkok, you don't want to be in a hotel that makes you feel like you're in New York. You're traveling to a local place, you want that local relevance. At the same time, you wouldn't be human if you didn't want to know that you could trust the brand that you're staying at to be consistent in its delivery of the added value it promises you. The three people that are here today, and I'm very, very honored that they made the time to fly over here and tell their stories, all run global hospitality brands. The first up will be Michael Hobson. He's the CMO of Mandarin Oriental. Need I say more? Wonderful company that has gone global in an extremely successful manner. He will be touching on how he does that and what that brand stands for. The second speaker joins us from Taj, the group from India, is Namrita. Welcome. And Namrita is responsible for the internet activities. And if you think about it, there's no marketplace more transparent than the internet. If you do it differently in one place on the internet, people will see it like this. So how do you manage that? And when you get things right, how do you roll them out? And finally, everything starts in terms of luxury in Europe, but this gentleman moved from Europe and made his home Asia because Banyan Tree is really here. They're based here. And Luca will be talking, Luca De Plano, will be talking, did I do that right? We'll be talking about how Banyan Tree actually translates its brand DNA and makes it real, and what they challenge, or what they face as challenges as they go global. Now with that, I'd like to take myself off the stage. We will be coming back to answer your question and also to look at how each of these brands address some of the common challenges across global marketing.